It was a weeknight, probably between 11 and midnight, and I was a college kid, just lying on my bed and probably half-heartedly reading something. And suddenly there was a knock on the window. And I walked over and I looked, and there were a couple of my friends on the porch, and one of them looked through the window and just said, "Coffee." And I knew what that meant. That meant that they were on their way to the diner, and they were swinging by to see if I was awake, and they were picking me up. We didn't have smartphones yet. There was no need to plan these things in advance. Certainly there was no need to ring someone's landline at that hour. This is just what we did. We spent a lot of nights at the diner. And we would sit there for hours and we would talk about the things that were important to us, and we would debate whether Revolver was as good as Abbey Road or whether The Godfather 2 was as good as the first one. And we didn't need a lot of money, and no one bothered us. And if after 2 or 3 hours the whole check was like $11 for 3 or 4 of us, so be it. I love diners. I love them. It probably has something to do with growing up in North Jersey, where we have so many of them. Often when I've traveled to other parts of the country, I've reacted with shock and probably a little snobbishness. Like, what do you mean you don't have a place to go and get an egg sandwich or French toast or a BLT or a burger at midnight? What are you talking about? It's as normal to me as like going to the tap and turning on the water. By the way, I remember seeing the movie Diner when I was a college kid, and Mickey Rourke orders French fries with gravy, and it was mind blowing. Like, oh, I never thought of doing that. French fries and gravy, what? To this day, when the band finishes rehearsal, we drive to a diner close to the studio, and it's great. I look forward to it all day. And the diner probably smells like bleach because they're mopping it, and I would prefer it didn't smell like bleach, but that's okay. That's part of it. I love diners. I love the surly, semi-interested, what the hell am I doing here, waiters and waitresses, and maybe they disappear for a long time when you really want to leave. I love the familiar but expansive menu that I scrutinize every time as if I don't know what's on the menu. And I love that all these years later, I sit with people who have similar interests to mine, and we talk about the things that we like, and we recommend things to each other without a lot of distraction. I love diners. And it's sad to me that a lot of diners have closed, especially since COVID. It's sad to me that a lot of them close now at like 9 or 10 p.m. That's not a diner, at least not what a diner should be. Diners to me have been every bit as influential as any book or movie or album, because they're a kind of nourishing place to talk about art, especially when you're a young person or an aspiring artist who doesn't have a lot of money. I love diners.